بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم. Dental Anatomy at a Glance Lecture 10, the Permanent Mandibular Second Premolar. This tooth assumes two common forms. The first one is the three-cusp type, which probably occurs most often, and the second is the two-cusp type. This is the three-cusp type. We can see this is the buccal cusp, and we have mesiolingual and distolingual cusps. So we will discuss the three-cusp type because it is the most common type. As you can see, these pictures explain or demonstrate the mandibular second premolar from all aspects. This is the buccal aspect, this is the lingual, and this is the mesial, distal, and finally the occlusal. We have a note that the two types differ. We mean by the two type is the three-cusp type and the two-cusp type. The two types of the mandibular second premolar differ mainly in the occlusal design. The outlines and general appearance from all other aspects are similar. So the main difference between the two types of the mandibular second premolar is from occlusal aspect. As you can see, this is the occlusal aspect of the mandibular second premolar of the three-cusp type. You can see this is the buccal cusp, the mesiolingual, which is the larger one, and the distolingual. Buccal, mesiolingual, distolingual. So, because the main difference is in the occlusal aspect, we will start with the landmarks of the mandibular second premolar, not molar here, mandibular second premolar of the three-cusp type. We have a central pit. From it, we can see a mesial developmental groove radiating in a mesiobuccal direction, ending in the mesial triangular fossa. And also we have a distal developmental groove radiating in a distobuccal direction and end in a distal triangular fossa. We also have a lingual developmental groove. Now for the three cusps, the larger one is the buccal cusp. The second large cusp in the mandibular second premolar is the mesiolingual cusp. This is the mesiolingual cusp, and the third one, which is the smaller cusp, is the distolingual cusp. So these are the landmarks of the mandibular second premolar from occlusal aspect of the three-cusp type. Now we will take the main differences of the mandibular second premolar from the mandibular first premolar. What are the differences between the first and second premolar? Overall, the second premolar, the mandibular second premolar, is the larger of the two mandibular premolars. This is the first difference. The second difference is that the mandibular second premolar presents a shorter buccal cusp than the first premolar. We said in the first premolar, the mandibular one, that the buccal cusp is long, sharp, while here it is less, or it is shorter than the mandibular first premolar. The third difference is that in the three-cusp type of the mandibular second premolar, the mesiolingual and distolingual cusps are present. So we have two lingual cusps. This is the mesiolingual, this is the distolingual. With the former being, the former here we mean the mesiolingual, the larger and the longer one in most cases. So the mesiolingual is the larger of the two lingual cusps. The last difference between the mandibular first and the mandibular second premolar is that no mesiolingual developmental groove is present on the crown portion of the mandibular second premolar. So here we don't have any mesiolingual developmental groove. So this is it for the mandibular second premolar. So how we can differentiate between the mandibular second premolar and the mandibular first premolar? If we have two teeth together, in the mandibular second premolar there is no mesiolingual developmental groove, and mostly we have two lingual cusps, and the buccal cusp is shorter than the first premolar, the mandibular first premolar. So thank you for watching, and inshallah we will meet in the maxillary molars in the next video. في أمان الله.